and works closely with several members of the ARA and has been a successful speaker at several of ARA's state and local association meetings. So please give me a warm welcome for David McBee.
Thanks, sir. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and you're here. That's exciting. Well, thank you very much for coming out this morning. I really appreciate it. My goal is for you to get a lot of value out of today's presentation. I think it's really cool that you showed up, especially for this one, because it's kind of high-tech. It's a little bit of an exciting piece of the internet marketing strategy. Before we get started, I want to start with a joke, and since I'm an internet guy, it's a Google joke. Do you guys know what Google and my mother-in-law have in common? Neither of them will let me finish a sentence without making suggestions. Right? If there's mother-in-laws in the room, they're going, that's not very nice. So online targeted display. Online targeted display is, speaking of mothers, my mother says, what do you do for a living? I'm like, well, I talk about this. And she's like, what is that? I was like, you know those ads that follow you around? The creepy ones? Like, you were just looking at those boots, and then all of a sudden, those same boots are on that web page. Have you guys had that happen? That's what targeted display is. Now, I say they're creepy. The good news is that in 2016, we've kind of the creepiness factor has kind of wore off. We're kind of used to that, right? It's like, okay, that's been happening for a little while. When it first came out, people were really confused by it. In fact, I had a friend, she said that her husband was thinking about quitting his job to be a musician. And when he started seeing ads for guitars, he thought it was a sign. She was like, no, honey, no, it's not a sign. And then, of course, there's another friend. She was dating this guy for a while, and she thought maybe he might propose soon. So she got on his computer. She started shopping for rings. The exact ring that she wanted. And he started seeing those ads, and guess what ring she got? Oh, hashtag that's clever. So, have you guys had this happen to you? If you wouldn't mind sharing just a quick story. Who here has been targeted by a display ad recently? Anybody? Up here, Tracy.
Yep.
Wait for the mic to get to you. Oh, well, who's going to get there first?
Yeah, right. The race is on. I'm sorry.
This guy right here, Scott.
Scott?
Right here.
Sorry.
What kind of ad did you see?
Linens.
Linens?
Linens.
All right. Is that because you're in the linen business?
We rent a lot of linen, so I'm always buying
You
new
rent a lot of-
custom. Right.
Okay.
So I go look, and then every other website I'm on, Facebook, whatever, it's right there in front of my face every
You're
time
seeing
I
linens.
go. Yes.
All right.
The
Is that
same,
a-
well, the company that I actually go to, it just keeps following me around.
All right. Now, do you think that's a good experience or not?
From my perspective, it gets a little annoying because I'm going to use them, but I think from a business standpoint of trying to keep my name or my business in front of my customers, I think it's great.
All right, cool. Thank you. To be fair, you're totally right. At some point, it can be annoying. But at the same time, we have to see ads anyway, right? And I think seeing ads for the things that we've been shopping for is a little better than seeing that ad for that vacation you can't afford or those ladies' jeans. You know what I'm saying? So from my point of view, it's like I'd rather see that. And it does increase kind of brand loyalty, even though you're probably going to buy from them again. I bought a backpack off of eBags. And then eBags kept targeting me over and over. It's like, I bought the bag. You don't need to do that. By the way, there is technology that they could implement to take me out of the audience after I buy the bag, but most of the time they want to keep showing you ads. And to their strategy, it worked because then I bought a bag for my son for backpacking. Then I ended up buying my wife a bag. So, man, those totally worked on me. Who else has had an experience with targeted display following them around? Anybody over on this side? See any ads recently that are specific to you? Golf ads or anything like that? No? Okay, looks like William's got a story. I was trying to get somebody near the mic, but it's all right.
Just a similar example. I mean, we do some audio rentals, and I was searching for a new subwoofer, for example, and then the vendor that I always use, ZZ Sounds, all over the place. Even when I was on other websites that had nothing to do with the sound business,
Right.
which was interesting. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
happens
So
all the
that's
time.
key, right? It's the ability for those ads to follow you anywhere. Like, you're not even reading about sound and audio equipment at the time. Maybe you're interested in a hunting trip that you're planning or something, right? And then the ads are following you there. That's a pretty good experience. Somebody over here have a story? Hang on. She's coming. Up here, second row. Look at her now. She's hustling. I love you, Tracy.
I just thought it was unique. I spent a lot of time on it's called B&H Video, Photo and Video out of New York, and they sell everything, but theirs, as I narrow my search, their ads they follow me. So if I drill all the way down to DSLR lenses, my ads, and so at some point I hope you address how do they follow you drilling deep into their
Right, so
site.
you're talking about them even not in just showing you their own business ad,
But the items we're
but
searching.
the items. Thank you very much for sharing that. And I'll bet, by a show of hands, who's had that happen to them with like Amazon or Zappos, Zulily ladies, right? The very exact product that you were shopping for follows you around. By the way, that's a really good way to ruin Christmas. I'm not even kidding. My son just was like, "Hey, Dad, I guess I'm getting an Xbox." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Dad, the ads are all over the home computer. It's like obvious." So I'm like, so that kind of stunk. So if you're Christmas shopping for someone, you want to use what's called a private browser. Now, thank you guys for sharing your stories with me. I'm going to share my story with you, actually, all right? It starts with this complaint that my wife had. She was complaining that her back was a little bit sore. And to be fair, we've had the same bed for a while, and it had the 2 dips in it. You guys have that? I'd like to say there was 1 dip in the middle, but let's be honest. There's 2 dips, right? And so I was like, okay, well, let's look into getting a new mattress. So I went to Google, and I did this search. At this point, I'm really early in what I like to call the purchase cycle or the purchase funnel. I'm not ready to buy a mattress, but I want to do some research. So these are the Google results that I get. As you can see, there are 3 paid ads right there. Those are people who are trying to sell me something. And then I've got some consumer reports. Consumer reports would be a good place to learn about mattresses, right? So I go over there and I read their mattress buying guide. Now here's the thing. Just by showing up on this page, I have left what I like to call a digital breadcrumb. I have left a breadcrumb that the internet can now use to understand something about me, just by showing up and reading that content. And then I went a little further, and see that search box at the top? I typed in some keywords there as well. Those keywords are also a digital breadcrumb. I have basically told Consumer Reports, guess what? I want to buy a mattress. Now, what most people don't realize is that websites like Consumer Reports, and I can't speak to them specifically, but websites like that, they make money in a couple of different ways. They sell advertising, right? That's how ESPN or whatever makes money. But they also capture that data and they sell it. eBay makes money 3 ways. Number 1, there's ads on eBay. Number 2, when you sell that Chewbacca action figure, they take a cut. And then number 3, they capture every single search that you do and they resell that. And that search data is associated with your computer browser through some technology that I won't try to get into that. So these are digital breadcrumbs that I've been leaving. I went back to Google, and then of course WebMD is the next result, and I did it again. I went to WebMD and I started reading about mattresses. So I'm leaving another digital breadcrumb. And in fact, this time, not only did I search for information about mattresses, I put best mattress for back pain. Now that's an even more specific digital breadcrumb, isn't it? That doesn't even tell you what I want, it tells you why I want it. So who would be interested in that information? Maybe a chiropractor, maybe a physical therapist. So I learn about these mattresses. They're kind of expensive, by the way. So like most men, I'm hesitant to run out and buy it. I'm going to wait, maybe save some money, right? And some time goes by. And as that time goes by, I start getting targeted. Now, I don't get targeted because I'm still reading content about the mattresses. I'm surfing what I like to call the rest of the internet. And as you can see, I'm really into superheroes, so I'm checking out the Batman Superman movie. And who showed me an ad? Tempur-Pedic. Now, to be fair, I mocked up this screenshot, right? I did actually grab those ads because they really did follow me around, and this really is a site that I spent some time on, but I just wanted to be honest with you there. I'm reading more about the movie, and Sleep Number puts ads in front of me. I'm also really into roller coasters, so as I read about roller coasters, I start to see ads from iComfort. And then I'm on my Facebook page, and Tempur-Pedic put an ad in front of me. None of you have ever had that happen, right? With Facebook, it's almost a little scary, isn't it? You're putting information in about barbecuing this weekend, and then the barbecue girls show up. It's almost like they can hear you. Let's see, more roller coaster stuff. Posturepedic put an ad in front of me. Thanks to this technology called cross-device matching, they can even show me ads on my mobile devices. One company was so good at following me around, they followed me around in this truck right here. Obviously, they're not following me around, but I actually did snap that picture while I was shopping for a mattress, so I was really creeped out. So some time goes by, I see all these ads, and now I'm getting closer, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy a bed. I go back to Google, but of course, this time my search is going to be a little bit different. Do you guys think I searched for mattress information? At this point, you guys have any guesses what I might have? Sheets? Not quite. I'm not quite ready for sheets. What else? Price? Well, I had seen so many ads for Tempur-Pedic that I thought it's about time I go lay on a Tempur-Pedic bed and see what they feel like. So this is the search I did. Tempur-Pedic dealer in Kansas City, which is where I live, by the way. And these are the results I got. Now, here's the cool thing. Every single result on that page is a Tempur-Pedic dealer. There's no sign of Sleep Number there. There's no sign of Posturepedic or iComfort. Sleep Number owns that page. I'm sorry, Tempur-Pedic owns that page. So guess what I did? That's right, I went and bought a Tempur-Pedic mattress. And that is the number one result of a targeted display campaign. Notice I never mentioned anything about clicking on those ads, right? But I did go to Google, type in Tempur-Pedic dealer, and ended up purchasing one. So, what happens with these display campaigns is that you will start to see more overall web traffic, and you will have more people looking for you by name. You guys think that would be a good thing? Absolutely, because if somebody's looking for you by name, they're pretty much going to find you, aren't they? So you're probably wondering, how does all this work? I'm not going to get into this stuff about spiders and cookies and all this technology, but I want to give you kind of a high-level overview of how it works and how you can use it to your advantage to do this in your own market. So I'm going to go over the different tactics